Haters talking, but I don't even hear them.
The NBA Most Valuable Player, or MVP, is a yearly award by the National Basketball Association given since the 1955-56 season to the best performing player of the regular season. Until the 1979-80 season, the MVP was selected by votes from the NBA players who had played that season. Ever since the season after that, which was the 1980-81 season, the award has been decided by a panel of sports writers and broadcasters throughout the USA and Canada, each of whom makes a vote for first to fifth place. Now that 60 NBA seasons have been played since the MVP award was introduced and 60 players have been awarded the MVP award, some MVP seasons stand out from the rest, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking at: the 5 greatest MVP seasons ever in the history of the NBA. So in fifth place for the greatest MVP season ever was the 1995-96 season for Michael Jordan. The GOAT had just taken 2 seasons off due to the murder of his father, and he returned from retirement in the most dramatic fashion. Having spent 2 entire years outside of the NBA in his first retirement, Michael Jordan returned to record a season average of 30.4 points, 6.3 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and 2.1 steals per game, and led his team to a record of 41-3 after 44 games were played in the regular season. That season, MJ won his 8th scoring title, finishing 2nd in made free throws and 3rd in steals. He also led the Bulls to a then record of 72 wins, which was obviously broken recently by the Golden State Warriors. Although this wasn't one of his greatest statistical seasons, the MVP season was very impressive considering the fact that he had just come back from a 2-year absence from the sport, and in my opinion, this season truly solidifies his greatness. In fourth place, we've got the 2012-13 season by LeBron James, where he averaged 26.8 points, 7.3 assists, and 8 rebounds per game as his Miami Heat beat the Spurs in the finals in a very thrilling series that went to Game 7. That season, LeBron James had a very efficient year and produced extraordinary all-round numbers, and that proved that he was much more than just a scoring machine. He could assist, he could block, he could rebound, he could steal. He was basically an amazing all-round player. LeBron James managed to put together a 6-game stretch with 30 points or more on 60% shooting. That is remarkable. In the process, the Miami Heat won 27 straight games, which is the second longest streak in NBA history. LeBron James shot a remarkable 57% while shooting 41% from 3. That season, he led the league in PER for the 6th consecutive season. His season averages are historic. He is one of only 4 players in league history to average 26.8 points, 7.3 assists, and 8 rebounds in a single season. Everyone knows that Steph Curry was the first ever unanimous MVP this season, but in 2013, LeBron James was only 1 vote shy of becoming the first ever unanimous MVP in NBA history. According to Bleacher Report, he also finished 2nd in the NBA for Defensive Player of the Year voting, and if it was up to the coaches, he would have won it. While the media is relegated to voting for the Defensive Player of the Year, the coaches are assigned to vote for all defensive teams. James actually received the most votes from the coaches who schemed to beat him. This just shows what a great all-round player he is, and in my opinion, there's nobody in NBA history who has a better all-round game than LeBron James. Now on to the 3rd best MVP season in NBA history. I said that LeBron James was 1 vote shy of a unanimous selection for MVP, but that wasn't the first time someone had gotten this close. 13 years earlier to be precise, while Shaquille O'Neal was playing the best basketball of his career in an MVP season, he became the first player to finish 1 vote shy of a unanimous selection for MVP. That year, he led the league in scoring, field goals, free throw attempts, field goal percentage, and finished 2nd in total rebounds. Despite scoring more than anyone else in the league, Shaq finished 4th in attempted field goals, which shows his efficiency. Shaq averaged 29.7 points, 13.6 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game, and he finished 3rd in the NBA in block shots with 3 per game, helping him make the NBA All-Defensive First Team that season. Shaq is the most dominant physical specimen the NBA has ever seen, and at 7'1" and 325 pounds, nobody stood a chance against the Big Diesel in the post, and he never missed the mini hook in the low post. He was also devastatingly dominant in pick-and-roll situations with Kobe Bryant. O'Neal was unstoppable that season and dominated on both ends of the floor, leading the Lakers to a league best record of 67-15. However, Shaq has one flaw that everyone knows about: his inability to make free throws, which could prove costly at the end of games, especially in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. He led the NBA in free throw attempts that season, but shot an awful 52.4% from the line in his MVP winning season. Shaq was such a great player, yet he had such a huge flaw. Regardless, he is the most dominant player in NBA history in my opinion. Speaking of dominance, however, let's get to the second best MVP season of all time. Wilt Chamberlain had put up some of the most unrealistic stats the NBA has ever seen, and although some factors did make it easier to put up better numbers, which I won't get into but you can search it up yourself, you've still got to put those numbers up regardless. So Wilt Chamberlain's rookie season, in which he got the MVP award, saw him put up 37.6 points and 27 rebounds per game, which is just inhumane. In 1960, the NBA gave a rookie the MVP and Rookie of the Year award for the first time in its history, and since then only one other player has been able to win the MVP award and Rookie of the Year in the same season, and that is Wesley Unseld, who did so in 1968 for the Washington Bullets. In his first year in the NBA, Wilt Chamberlain went on to break 8 different NBA records, including points per game and rebounds per game, and that was only in his rookie year. He stuffed the stat sheets with a devastating 43 points and 28 rebounds in his very first NBA game, and he led the league in minutes per game. The year before Wilt Chamberlain joined the Philadelphia Warriors, they had finished the regular season with a record of 32-40, which is poor, and Wilt's presence immediately improved their record to 49-26, which is huge and just shows how valuable Wilt Chamberlain was. To think this was his rookie year was simply unbelievable. It's just a shame that he played in the same era as Bill Russell, because that limited him to only winning 2 NBA championships, as Bill Russell won 11. Now that we've got those 4 out of the way, we can talk about the real deal. It's fitting that the greatest player of all time also manages to have the greatest MVP season ever. The 1987-88 season was only the 4th year of Michael Jordan's illustrious NBA career, yet he completely dominated the league in every aspect of the game. Having put up 35 points, 6 assists, 5.5 rebounds, 3.2 steals, and 1.6 blocks per game, his season PER currently ranks as the highest all-time with an impressive 31.71. Jordan led the NBA in points per game by nearly 5 points on an efficient 53.5% shooting. He was also the league leader in field goals made, free throws made, and steals. Along with those feats, Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year, setting an NBA record for most blocks by a guard in a season with 131. Additionally, he led the Bulls to a 50-32 record. Although he didn't manage to win a championship that year, Jordan is the only player in NBA history to win the scoring title and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. He was so heavily relied on by his teammates that the next leading scorer on the team registered a remarkable 22 points fewer than Michael Jordan. It's astonishing that he managed to win 50 games with a team like that. Jordan was the only star in that Bulls team roster, and without him they would have been one of the worst teams in the NBA. Now that is the perfect MVP season. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.